Well, this is Victor once again, and I'm grateful that I'm back to share the second part about gun control. I started by saying that we have four institutions in this matter. We have a family or home, we have the school, we have the gun manufacturing company, and the government of the USA. As I told you, I'm still saying we're still on the same point of how do we safeguard the future of these little guys. That's my family. I'm married to Lisa Cooper Joy, very beautiful woman with a beautiful heart, and we have three kids. But these two are in school in Clarion, Limestone, in Clarion, in Pennsylvania. That's near Pittsburgh City. And of course, I'm worried about the future of my kids, as in school and with all the chaos and running battles. Though we have three kids, we have Gabriel, who is just making 1 year, isn't yet in school. Caleb is in grade 2. Branaya is in kindergarten. And beautiful kids, very bright and lively. But we're trying to find solutions to all these gun shootings. I began with my first part about family. You can't see it. But this one, I'm just want to talk about schools and what we can do in schools. Because I've trained my mind for the last 20 years to be among people that bring solutions, not people that blame, complain, judge, and condemn. Solutions. But when I see the school, maybe I'll share something to do with school and whatever. But with school, I think one of the things we need to do in these schools, to me, what I take to be very, very important is, first of all, introduce teachings on gun use, safety in school, gun use and safety, and also help our children to know the vices and the demerits on using guns upon people. And also try to emphasize values in school, the same values like I talked about in the first part in home. Let our children try to know the values of love, the values of tolerance, the values of forgiveness, the values of togetherness, the values of sharing. If the kids try to know these values, these are the values that will protect their hearts, and also the value of sacrifice for the future. Just want to only teach our children the values of things of fun, dancing, and all that. Let our children know how to love, how to share, how to sacrifice, how to tolerate, so that if they have these values in their lives, the schools emphasize those values. Let us not only think about human rights, these things that are going to cause violence and revenge, and because the more children think it's all about revenging, laws, court, police, let them know that in life it is okay to forgive. It is okay to admit defeat. It is okay to share. It is okay to love your enemy. They should know these values, because this is what they need to know when they're children, and when they grow up they will be responsible citizens. But if we're only teaching our children to revenge, to run to police, to run to courts of law, we're not giving them values that are going to hold them together. So let schools also try to emphasize these values in the lives of the children. And in the same way, let our children, majorly those that are in high school, middle school, let them get some basic trainings on self-defense, so they can know how to defend themselves in times of trouble. And in the same way, let our teachers be given these trainings of self-defense and know what to do in case there are gun shootings and things like that. At the same way, the other thing I'm thinking about, can we rebuild the entrances of our schools? Can we rebuild the entrances of our schools? I'm thinking of something where when the door opens as they enter school, can the kids, first of all, can we have screening where the bags can be screened as they go through these screening places? Let each bag go through a screen. Let it be screened to ensure that there's no any harmful material that goes through the entrance to the rest of the school, so that the kids know that in case I take anything that is of harm, that can cause harm to the other or injury, it can be detected. These bags go through, a scanner. It should be scanned. And one teacher can be trained to do that screening and scanning in the morning. After that, we don't need to have someone who is permanently there to scan bags. No, just go through, and it can be done once in a day. Bags are scanned in the morning, and in the evening, the kids just get out and go. The other thing I'm thinking of, can we have a glassed entrance? For example, when the kids enter in here like this, assuming this is the entrance, they enter here like this, then there is maybe a 20 feet glassed entrance which is armored, whereby when you enter here, your bags are scanned, you walk through this, and in case, and this glass thing can be built with sensors and detectors, in case they detect anything harmful, then these doors should not open. They automatically lock to ensure that the kid or the kids that have been detected to be having anything harmful, then they should be rechecked so that nothing goes beyond this glassed entrance with scanners. And in the evening, the kids don't have to go through this. They can go around the entrance and go home. But if this is put there, psychologically, children will know, I cannot take a gun to school because I'll be screened, I'll be checked, and in case I'm found with a gun, that will be enough for you to be fired out of school. Though I don't think firing should come immediately. But this kid should be counseled, talked to know what is the source of the problem, why is he having all this anger and wanting to kill the others. So I believe if there's some kind of screening and scanning in the morning of the bags, kids shouldn't be scanned and exposed to all these x-rays, but they can walk through that glassed entrance that should be having detectors, that in case they detect a child maybe is carrying a gun in the pocket or anywhere along the clothes, then they can alarm. There can be an alarm. That an alarm can go on, and then the doors will automatically lock, and then these kids can be, moved out and checked again, and something should be done at the entrance in the morning as kids get off the bus. Oh, a gun detector can be placed in a school bus. These school buses can have gun detectors in them, so that in case a child goes on the school bus and has a gun or anything that it can cause harm, an alarm goes in the bus, and definitely the driver should park and try to cross-check who has something harmful. And then these drivers should be also trained on on self-defense, and also how to detect, how to handle kids, how to handle in case a gun detector or any other detector goes on, an alarm goes on in the bus. They should be trained on how to handle this issue. And I believe the US police, the US security organs can come up with all these measures of trainings and all that, and then we avoid the problem from its source. Not try to handle the symptoms and the aftermath of this problem. Let us try to come up with solutions that can mitigate it from the source there. Can we have gun detectors in buses? Can our people in these detective things come up with something that can be gun detectors? I believe if we build an entrance where kids can go through, their bags and whatever can go through scanners, and something good can happen. Our kids can be saved from all these useless and cowardice killings of our children. Majorly when the killings are caused by troubled kids that are coming from broken families and homes. Let them be cancelled. The other thing that I think can be done is try to place gun detectors in walkways, in classrooms, in bathrooms, and all places where kids can easily enter. And if guns can be easily detected, then an alarm goes on, wee, wee, wee. Then automatically let this alarm be connected to a nearby police, so that in case this alarm goes on, the police is alerted, and then there should be a rapid response from the police station to come and investigate what is happening within the school. Who has a gun? Who has something like this? If those kind of detectors are placed in the walkways, in the bathrooms, in the classrooms, in whatever, so that in case a gun is within the proximity of that room, it can easily be detected, and then an alarm can go on, and that alarm should be connected to the nearby police station, and then quick response, and the solution is done. I believe in that way we can save the lives of our children. In the same way, I believe all kids in school should periodically be taught about the demerits of the guns. I already talked about that. But I believe if this is done in schools, and where we have all these other signs hanged in schools, no use of guns, guns are harmful to the people, so that the children, as they grow up, they read these warning signs, they read all these things. I believe their hearts can be transformed, and they can grow up to love school and love protecting each other and defending each other. And maybe kids who join university then can be taught how they should use these guns for self-defense, but not kids in middle school and lower school. Maybe kids in high school can be taught on how they can use guns for self-defense, but not the kids in the middle school and the lower school. Let them know about guns at a later stage of age. Let them first grow up a little bit, and then they can be introduced to this usage of guns. The other solution that can be done is the government of the US can introduce a security agencies that basically are there to protect public institutions, or private security bodies that are there to protect public places, like it is in Africa. Because in Africa there are security bodies and security companies that basically they are for the protection of public places. They check you before you enter. You cannot just enter a bank before you're checked. You can't just enter a school. You cannot just enter a public office. I mean, there are those guys who have been trained just for that job, is to check anyone who enters an institution, so that before you enter, you cross-check not to have anything harmful. Then you enter. That one can also be done, whereby schools can come up with something that can be. I'm sorry, that was something that was a mouth that I needed to get out of the way. But we can have something of that nature. We can have security agencies that are for protecting the schools. And in this part too, I also share what I would think can also be helpful for the gun manufacturing entities. I think from now on, the US should come up with measures on how, when guns are made, can we have tracking device in these guns? Let all the new guns have tracking devices. Let all the old guns be taken back. Let people buy these tracking devices and place them on their guns, so that each gun can be tracked whenever it is out of a home to anywhere. Let people be able to track the guns on their phones, on their iPads, on their computers, so that in case a gun moves